Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible rule set, starting as the Duke of Angria in 1178. I want to start this episode by talking about something that I'm not going to do, at least right now, and that is that I'm not going to become an administrative government. And the reason why is because of the sometimes strange interaction between the acclamation succession that would apply to administrative governments and the princely elective title that comes with the Holy Roman Empire. It seems like the Holy Roman Empire's princely elective title will take precedence over acclamation succession. That's true of any elective succession title. And because of that, you can end up with a split between your overall title of the Holy Roman Empire and the various titles underneath it. Also becomes more challenging using acclamation succession to get all those titles underneath the main one to the heir that you actually want to be your primary heir. Now, clearing the princely elective law from the Holy Roman Empire cost 10,500 prestige, which is a huge amount, but you can see that we're getting somewhat close to it. If we get to that level, it can clear the princely elective title, then everything becomes acclamation succession, and we really only have to get one title, which would be the Holy Roman Empire, to our preferred heir. So if we get to a point where I can clear that title, I think I'll likely do that. There are a few reasons I would like to go to administrative and acclamation succession. One is that our current succession, we are going to lose some significant big titles, Burgundy, Kingdom of Italy, to our brothers, along with some other duchies here. If we make another kingdom title, we'll likely lose that as well to Henry Welf here, our youngest son, who would be our youngest brother, upon succession. So I talked before about I'd like to keep king titles and just have dukes below me. And so I think that's what I want to do here as well. You could argue there are some benefits to my brothers having these big king titles. That means we have fewer vassals and two major vassals I can ally with and that wouldn't join factions or rebel against me. So there is a counterweight to that. The other issue is when we talked about when we were making our hybrid culture, which is we are Alsatian, but we don't have any of the counties that are of Alsatian culture. Those are all in Austria. And I'm assuming there's no way this guy would let me revoke his title. We don't even have the crown authority for it at the moment. But if I became, and so I really don't have any control over improving the development where the Alsatian culture is located. And that really hurts our ability to get innovations in particular. And in retrospect, what I probably should have done is converted to local culture, which would have been Franconian, and then hybridized with the French, but didn't do that. So, stuck with Alsatian for now. If I became administrative, I think I would try to take over the Duchy of Austria, revoke that title, give away these two titles, and basically I would have the Duchy of Thuringia and the Duchy of Austria as my main two areas of land. But for the moment, can't do that. So I think sort of explain why we're going to stay as feudal for now. If we get up here to 10,500, that could change. Given all that, I think what we want to do now is really look into expanding our realm, seeing where we can conquer. Do have a hostage from France here. I don't care too much who educates him. Let's see what else here. it's still possible we could ally with the Scourge Conqueror here, but just quite unlikely. You can see once again that he is attacking using county and duchy level CBs, which I just find odd because he's a Scourge Conqueror. He has access to an unlimited kingdom level casus belli, but he's just not using it. Hopefully we have enough allies, a strong enough army that will give him pause in attacking us. If he does attack us, we'll do the best we can do. I think it would be a quite challenging war. Let's get all of our regiments up to their maximum here. We are currently researching men-at-arms. Probably going to be quite a while before we get it. 15 years, even with being the cultural spread as well from Georgian culture. But that is, a significant power spike. Gives us increased regiment size plus another regiment. So that's, be very useful. But having done all that, let's see what we have here in terms of wars we could declare. Oh, right. I remember a long time ago, our father actually got the Duchy of Burgundy, so that's one option. I guess, do we have divine right? I assume not. No. Divine right's very powerful because really this first line here, which allows you to seize all de jure lands in a single war against an opponent. Curious how close or far we are from usurping. Yeah, we need a lot more counties. I think we get a penalty from attacking him though, since we have his vassal. I have his daughter, I should say, though he's in quite poor health, just at 49. I think because we did just get his daughter, probably should not attack him. Poland is our longtime ally. Castile, we certainly don't want to attack. Pomerania. I mean, we could get the Kingdom of Denmark. He looks quite strong. Mostly based on his a couple of alliances. I mean, he's only a 2-star marshal, not a very good marshal stat. So Pomerania, take the the Kingdom of Denmark. That certainly looks like something we could do. Not going to attack the Pope. Yeah, so we really don't have a huge amount of options here in terms of the CBs we have. So Denmark looks like the obvious choice. I think let's go ahead and do that. See what this person's claims are. Yep. Oh, okay. Just doing this to increase the size of our realm, increase our power. I prefer not to call in any of our allies unless we need to. We just have to see. I don't want to call in allies in an offensive war because that costs prestige, and we were talking about that we were going to need prestige. Okay, we got some good armor here. One thing let's look at is how expensive a grand tournament would be. Let's just do a mix, most likely. So we could do one right now. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Again, I really like maxing out my grand tournaments. The accommodations are you want to max so you don't die or get disfigured during your grand tournament, or at least the chances are less. And then the prizes you want to be as high as possible so you're getting those nice purple artifacts. So this will be a bit annoying in terms of simultaneously fighting this war and juggling this grand tournament, but I think it'll be worth it. Hopefully I won't perform too badly in this multitasking. Book that improves our health, among other things. Take that small health boost. So we will finish this siege here and then go attack them. Ideally on our own territory and not theirs. And so for these, talked about prior series, I'm really looking to increase my score. Primarily. And I like going to the temple as well because you can get an event that gives you renown. You can also get an event that will give you the astronomer trait, which in turn gives you monthly learning lifestyle experience. Where are they going? Maybe they're joining up with someone else. Guess we have to say we'll be ready to fight. Not sure I plan on actually participating. Speaking of fighting, let's try to fight these guys. Great. Now let's see if we can avoid the stress. Okay, well that didn't go terribly well. Okay. I think it's fair to say probably not winning this recital. Great. So all of these going to horribly stress me out. That's unfortunate. I am horribly stressed out. I really need to get something that will reduce my stress. Okay, that helps a little at least. If I can catch a part of their army here, hopefully. Nope. Great. So this is the astronomer trade I wanted, but I just don't think I can get it because it would really stress me out. So that's unfortunate. We need to find some place to resupply. Aren't a lot of good places, frankly. Okay. So that was very, very bad. There's not much else to say. That was largely disastrous. We can't even wipe peace out of the war? So that stuff happens. Let's try to get it quick. Man, that is really, really unfortunate. Just when you think things are going okay, something like this happens. Man, yeah, this is bad. We'll turn on all of our terrified court down here. What? Okay, so I have these 5. All right. Yeah, and again, this is just a consequence of, partly of, I mean, something that can happen in a regular game, but it seems like it's even more likely to happen in playing with this hardest rule set. We really need to disband our army here. I mean, this is just killing us. So yeah, this is really sort of where the rubber hits the road in terms of can we overcome this very negative event. It is very bad. There's just no two ways about it. Who even is this person? Oh, he's a Hohenstaufen? Can't get an anointment. $66. I mean, if we give him an artifact. Oh, he's a king, so we can give him other stuff. That would not do it. So I talk about, kings. Kings have royal courts, meaning that you can give them, pedestal items, books, and so forth. And they'll get a lot of vassal opinion from that, as opposed to having to give them weapons and things of that nature, armor, stuff that they can equip. Love how we're going to be making 5 gold a month. That's great. Alright, well, that should cause them to drop. Hopefully that'll be enough to end that faction. Yeah, so there's not much to say besides this really hurts. Our father dying in that joust was really, really unfortunate. Why are more people joining? There's not even anything I can give him. Let's see, are there internal alliances I can make? I can make a lot of alliances. Maybe. Let's make all these internal alliances. I think we'll just have to, you know, to sort of chill here. Especially look at that bottom faction. See if it fires. You know, the problem here is, well, the problem here is it's not making much income. Is the problem. Guess we'll try to start swaying our realm priest so that he likes us. And then just wait, really. Going to grand tournaments, you can get gold and prestige, which are both things that would help us. You know, I think we'll just have to use this martial character to construct buildings in our domain. See whatever buildings we can make that will generate some gold for us here. Certainly not much. I guess we'll build these these hunters' lodges and cattle pastures. They're quite inefficient, but you know, I guess they'll be better than nothing at this point. Okay, I guess we'll just have to fight them. I don't know. Either that or give in. Uh, yeah. Yeah, this is very bad. I mean, there's no two ways about it. See if there are any other alliances we can make. Doesn't look like it. I let their forces gather. Maybe they'll take some attrition from sieges, and then we'll try to jump on them. Obviously, want to be very careful about raising our forces. Probably have to just do men-at-arms only. Oh, great. They have Poland on their side. I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know if it's possible. Yeah, just really, really unfortunate. Oh, here goes nothing. Only 5% war score there. We just don't have the gold or the infrastructure. change our marshal to organize our armies, try to save a little bit of money. Very little war score for any of this. Hopefully if we take his capital, that will give us more. See here, 750 prestige, 225 gold, 50 renown, so just really useful to go to grand tournaments. They get so much more war score for occupying territories, apparently. Okay. I don't know what you want me to do, buddy. Okay, we captured a very valuable prisoner. See if it's possible for us to enforce our demands. If things start going poorly, we'll just go back to doing a white peace. sort of waiting. Hopefully we'll be able to win this rebellion. Hopefully if we get through this last siege, we'll hang on to our title here. Don't help me with the siege. Don't run after him. Oh, AI. Again, really want to go down the martial path. See here, we're fighting a lot of wars. One more siege, hopefully. And going down martial really helps us. Okay, great. Nothing to be done about that one. Guessing this won't actually help, but who knows. Before about it would be nice if I could get a territory in Austria. I just don't have the the domain limit to take it, unfortunately. Not sure that anyone in our family will have the domain limit to take it. So we'll give it to this guy. Where are the peasants? The peasants are down here. We'll say one thing. After the nerf to stewardship, where stewardship no longer determined domain limit, there were questions about, was that too much of a nerf? Will people still play stewardship at all anymore? I think those were certainly things worth considering. But it seems like I would say stewardship is still very powerful. Just the ability to build the buildings is very strong. It really gives you a great discount. Obviously I still use stewardship characters quite a lot. I certainly wish I still had the stewardship character that suddenly died in the Joust. I really wanted him to be able to build up our domain counties and then pass it on. I'm not going to be able to to do anything against Castile. We're just going to lose those territories. I would become a tributary of King Alfonso if I could, but I can't, so. It's like we're making a little bit of gold. I think what we'll try to do is go on a grand tour, taxation tour. Maybe that'll help a bit. I want to save money for that. thoughtful here for vassal management reasons. 500 martial lifestyle experience. And our regent to get gold for us. At least that gives us a, well, maybe at least a 3-year truce against him. I continue to be, oh right, we should be stripping these people of their titles. I'm not sure we're going to give them to, but we'll give them to someone. Not sure if he didn't actually rebel against me or why I would lose. So much, tyranny, whatever, vassal opinion by stripping him of his title, but I'll pass on it. Give Messin to a brother, someone. I mean, quite concerned about being pulled into Byzantine Emperor's Wars. I guess we could just accept and then refuse to get involved in his wars. A Liberty faction, of course. Let's see if we can keep Cologne. Cologne is very powerful, so if we can hold on to it, that would be helpful. See about our Hanover needs some improvement here. Tactician is good, gives martial experience, improves counter efficiency of our regiments. expensive a Grand Tour is. Guessing it's probably still terribly expensive, probably more than around 3,000 or so, but we'll see. Okay. Would like more prestige, but we don't need the luxuries. I'll settle for mediocre prestige. There we go. If we can complete this, it should give us that very nice bonus. That gives us, I think it's 20% more vassal taxes, so that would be very helpful. I'm just not going to ransom any of these people. They are free to die in my prison. I'll replace my physician when he dies. Should have romanced my wife before setting out on this grand tour, but do it when I get back. She's still quite young. Assuming we get a decent amount of gold here, I'd like to go to university. Of course, since we just entered the late Middle Ages, it probably costs even more now. Survey the lands for gold. Hopefully we successfully sway this guy and get him to drop. We don't have to give anyone any money, but we'll have to see what happens. Rather just be safe than take that coin flip. Don't need this character to get wounded and get an infected wound and then die. NPC's intelligent. Am I intelligent or just quick? I am nothing. Is that true? I'm just nothing? Don't have any intelligence traits? Nope. Okay. Well, so at least my son has an intelligence trait. Got a decent spear here. Of course, can't put on the crown. Get a hard rule next, which should mean that these faction will no longer have the military power to generate discontent. Guess we'll just have to pay them. Excellent. Very nice artifact. Tutor is terrible, which is unacceptable. We need good tutors. Change our seneschal back to organizing court. So we got Magnificent Liege, up to 66 gold. That's a far cry from the 200 gold our father was making, but obviously better than the 5 gold we were making earlier. Our wife on patronage and go to university, hopefully, assuming it's not cripplingly expensive. Go to university, it's not afflicted by the plague. Alright, I mean, this is a young character. He's going to be around for quite a while. Hopefully this is worth it. See, I think that murder scheme, we should be able to find enough of its agents to stop it before it actually fires to try to murder me. Great, excellent. Again, just really looking at any option that increases our studiousness. Want to get as high as possible so we get more lifestyle perks and hopefully improve our education trait. It's only a 3. A 4 would give us another domain limit. That's been an insanely expensive trip to university. I think it's like 4,000 at this point. See, the murder scheme on us was abandoned, so that's good. It'd be great if we got one more event. That would get us up to level 4. Fortunately, that wasn't it. But we did get Brilliant Strategist, so that's good. We got a book that increased our martial lifestyle experience, so that's also strong. Certainly display it. Going down this route to get rare conscription, which obviously decreases army gold maintenance. Also puts us 2 away from absolute control, which will give us another domain limit. So now we're up to 80 gold income a month, so slowly improving. Curious how close Franconian culture is to getting windmills. Answer is very far away. Pope has any interest in allowing us to have an anointment. Nope. Okay. So he's still upset a bit about us not being able to join the crusade. The obvious issue there, Mr. Pope, is that we're being attacked by our vassals, so see that the Scourge Conqueror Castile does have the faltering heart trait, so overall it's probably good for us. If he dies, we'll sort of see what becomes of his realm. So hopefully the worst of our father's sudden death is behind us. I keep forgetting to romance my wife. Remember to do that. Get back from this hunt. Especially since we have chivalry, it gives us prestige. It's probably arguments that we should start serially romancing all the women we can. We'll think about that. I think we want divine right here. Could go for primogeniture or court officials. Both of those would take a horrifically long time. Hopefully, as development in Austria increases, the Alsatian culture will more quickly go through innovations. The speed at which you research innovations is heavily dependent on the development of counties of the relevant culture, as well as to a lesser extent on your character's learning. Or I should say, the learning of the character who is the head of that culture. Happy to get Gardener, very nice reduction in stress gain. Also some stewardship. Be a while before we can increase crown authority, but we'll plan to do that when we get the chance. Not sure I want to travel that far. On the flip side, it gets us travel experience. We're going over the Alps. We certainly are going to want mountaineers. I think we'll customize our route on the way back to hit points of interest. Going to the grand wedding because we're really just kind of trying to build up some income here. Travel safety and also the increase in supply when we do go to war. Again, I don't really think there's much we can do about this. I mean, we can see when he shows up, he's just very, very powerful. The fact that he's a king and apparently can't make a empire title just makes this more annoying. Too much for an artifact at this point. And presumably the artifact will be a book that gives plague resistance, which is fine in the abstract, but just for 850 gold is just too much. With the bride there, I guess she's just ill. Talked about before, just to reiterate, it's quite unusual that Castile is attacking county by county, or using attacking duchies, using other people's claims. I'm assuming there's just some sort of bug happening there, because normally Scourge Conquerors have a kingdom level CB that they use just to gobble up land, but he is just not using that for whatever reason. It's probably a benefit to us Otherwise, we'd have been lost even more land than we already have to him. Another intelligent son. Educate him. And I wonder at this point, probably just make our children marshal from here on out, even though we don't have, haven't had the stewardship character we would have wanted to build out our buildings. And I guess we could establish the industriousness tradition. The problem becomes again that it's really helping Austria more than us. I mean, there are also arguments we should have gone for stalwart defenders there. Hopefully that will help, Austria, where the Alsatian culture is, build up, increase its development, and so go through the innovations faster. Do we dare risk another tournament? I assume the disaster that happened to our father won't happen to us. You never know. Guess let's go this feast first. Talked before about since we're playing on very hard, AI makes more gold and activities are cheaper for the AI. So the AI tends to hold a lot of activities, which is good. It means if you're poor or waiting on something, you often can go to the AI's activities. Keep doing something interesting while you wait on whatever you're waiting on. Hopefully he brings back something good. Right, here's to hoping that this tournament goes better than the last one. So we've maxed out on foot experience. We really need bow and wit. Alright. This may just cost too much for us to do it. What about Cologne over here? I guess it doesn't really have any benefits. Actually, I think I want to change the order here a bit. Just of course, recital, then joust, more force experience, then board game, then archery. We'll at least see how much this costs. Probably too much. Definitely too much. Roughly 5,000. Okay. All right. That's you know, that's something. So we won't be doing that. Well, maybe he took it back. I thought we had the Duchy of Burgundy at one point. Just look at what our claims are here. Not a lot. Not many at all, really. It's very few good claims. Wow, is he a scourge? No, he has incredible allies. Oh, he's allied to Castile, who won't come help him, so it's a lot weaker than he looks. Probably still don't want to bother attacking him. Looks like France is arguably the best place. Let's try to reclaim Burgundy here. I do think we had at one point. I think we can also increase our army. Retinue Lancers is something we'd want. Let's make sure our crossbowmen are stationed somewhere. And these 100 horsemen. Okay. Okay, so even with our armies largely raised, we're still making almost 75 gold a month. Herbalist is good. Another son who's only quick, unfortunately, instead of being intelligent. One of the reasons to fund artifacts is because you get that option we just saw to get renown. You know, renown is very challenging to obtain. Oh, he has quite the army up there. So the more ways you can get it, the better. Let's go attack his army and see what happens. One thing that's why it's hard to spam romance schemes is you have to use your personal scheme to do other stuff to actually sway your vassals or sway other people to try to prevent them from attacking you or getting some sort of benefit from the swaying. Okay, this all looks good. Sometimes the characters that you're not expecting to play or that you don't want to play are the ones that end up turning out to be the most effective. And this is certainly a character we were not expecting to play at the time. Maybe he'll turn out to be someone who really expands the realm. Maybe he turns out to be the guy who defeats Castile. We'll have to see. Okay, we'll be done with our siege way before he is done with his. We are starving, which is not good. After we fight his armies, go fix our supply. Often does seem CK3, especially at this level of difficulty, that things are going too well for you, going too easy. The game really likes to throw you a curveball. Certainly our last character's death in a Joust, the Grand Tournament, was that curveball. But hopefully we will overcome that obstacle. Move forward. Probably would be nice to get coronation sometime, but not sure if that's going to happen. Trying to look around for the best place with the highest supply. Divide up our armies. Talked before about how living off the land is one of the most powerful perks. Part of that is because it allows you to keep your armies together, which, partly it's convenient, but more importantly, You can see how the AI often splits up its armies to try to maintain supply. By keeping your own armies together, you can really concentrate your forces, and unfortunately unsiege that so quickly. Hopefully this works. Probably should have gone with the prestige there. That's a little bit of a misclick. Oh, come on. Okay, so that was stupid on my part. This is stupid. Yep. All right. Okay. And that's why you want to keep your armies together so they don't fall apart like that one just did. Another setback. Just have to keep going. Guess we'll just call in our allies. Just can't do it ourselves yet. Avoid fighting him over the river. Don't have forder yet. Strategist, which gives you forder. We'll get living off the land here for the reasons previously talked about. Hopefully she'll be able to handle it herself. I do not actually plan on helping her. Okay, those two want to be on the council. Perhaps we can accommodate that. Should get rid of their faction. Looks like Castile is attacking, or was attacking, part of France. also build up our armies here. I mean, we have we maxed out foot hostile looter experience, which gives us +2 size to each of our regiments. We also got the men-at-arms innovation, which gave us another regiment plus I think it's +3 size to all your existing regiments, so we could be much more powerful here. I think the next time that Castile comes calling, we'll see what we can do against them instead of just letting them take whatever they want. So they're on a new Scourge Conqueror. Their heir did inherit the trait. It's okay. Well, hopefully we don't die. That's all that can be said. I'm not sure if our father's death was a harm event or counts as a harm event, such that I think harm events had a 50-year cooldown, which would mean we wouldn't have to worry about dying in tournament with no opportunity to prevent that for a while, but I just don't know. Could have just been simple bad luck. But at this point, we are going to get our armies as powerful as we can, and next time Castile comes a-calling, we will see what we can do. Also think about fabricating some claims. But where? It's like in the original Scourge Conqueror for Castile died, Aragon split off. Assume these people we can't attack. No, maybe not. Maybe we can try. Definitely want a wet nurse. Looks like we'll have to recruit one. Let's also take a look at our heirs who've been neglecting again. Don't know why this guy doesn't want to be brave. This guy, it's obviously not ideal to try to make him a martial character, but I think that's what we want at this point. also should be sure that I'm voting for my... Well, maybe we should vote for our brother at the moment. My son's come of age. I want to fix that. I want to marry him to someone with the best intelligence trait possible. She will do. Our accolade, our acclaimed knights are, getting up there in their experience, so that's good. Hopefully we didn't die here. I'm a bit surprised we lost. I mean, we do have maxed out foot hostile looter experience, so I would have assumed we would have won, but these things happen. Always makes me paranoid when that advice about protecting against schemes comes up. Makes me think, is that talking about protecting against schemes is a general issue, or is there something specific I should be worried about right now? Guess generous. It's really painful. It does have some nice vassal opinion improvement benefits, so it's going to be what it is. Spouse for this rather homely but excellent knight. Here, just going for the best options. because I do have a maxed out hostile looter foot trait, I generally get quite good options in terms of ambidextrous and counter blows and so forth. If I get anything good. Oh, that's good. Sword of Muhammad doesn't really provide us with much. Certainly Ascalon's okay, so this one. Probably scepter there. Get a little more in terms of our domain taxes. That one is pretty much always, you want something unique. That increases the chance of you getting a very powerful artifact. We could go on another grand tour if we had the gold. A bit curious what Castile is doing. Could start attacking down to Africa. Oh, because we have this one county here. I think somehow. Yep. Interesting. What about you? Could we attack you? I mean, we could. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is attack this duchy, use our kingdom level, holy war on the Ghazi Sultanate here, take over Egypt, and then look into getting Jerusalem. So that's a plan. Hopefully I remember it, because we'll be looking at that next episode. This one, obviously, nothing to say except a very major setback. That was unfortunate. I do think it's really sort of put us back in terms of where we want to be. Which is to say, having our character die so suddenly in a joust and being taken over by someone who wasn't the greatest character, at least initially. But I think we've sort of come through it. We do have a plan here of how we want to expand. I think our army is getting more and more powerful, so we could probably take on Castile if we wanted to. I mean, they're still very strong on their own. Just an enormous amount of gold. But I think things are sort of stabilized after a very significant adverse event. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you join for the next episode. Goodbye.